some people say, oh no, you don't have to worry about AI. You have to worry about the people who know AI, whatever. I think you have to worry about AI too. And I think that it's a really awesome opportunity for those people who are willing to solve problems and be creative and really double down on like their unique expertise.
You've been involved with AI for a while. Where do you see this is all going?
It's going fast is where it's going. And so I think it's something that's just going to become a normal piece of our everyday everything. Like it's woven in is just a thing that is a seamless integration into everything that we're doing. And so right now, there are a lot of people who are doing things, I think, really just because they're cool, because they can, not necessarily because it's more effective or helping them to make more sales. It's just like the dopamine rush of watching something magical happen like that. But I think even in those things, we're still learning and the playing and stuff like that. You know, there are some things that I'm doing just with my kids just to like have fun. I think as we're doing that, it's helping us to stay ahead of the curve as the tools get better, because you know, we have to remember that everything is like a really bad version of what it's going to be in the future. So it's just going to keep getting better and better and become more of our everyday life. And a lot of people, yes, are going to lose jobs because of it. And some people say, oh no, you don't have to worry about AI. You have to worry about the people who know AI, whatever. I think you have to worry about AI too. And I think that it's a really awesome opportunity for those people who are willing to solve problems and be creative and really double down on like their unique expertise. So
What I'm noticing is that we're able to output a lot more in less time,
yeah,
with the relatively same quality as a result of having AI tools. Like we're just getting ready for this 5-day event that I'm doing next week, and AI has been very, very helpful in helping me structure the content for the day. It's also been extremely helpful for my team, who was tasked with like creating handouts and resources and cheat sheets. And, so like I just give them either an idea or a brief outline of what it needs to be. And within like 30-40 minutes, they come back to me and like, here, check this out. And it's like 80% good. So you have to go in, you have to make some tweaks. But it's pretty neat. And, now there's an equivalent of that with design work, with pretty much, everything else, video design, editing of any kind. What do you think in terms of like people losing jobs? Yes, but there will be new jobs created.
Well, and that's the thing, like if you're staying on top of, I think the jobs that are lost are going to be more things that are, like that don't require any sort of extra creative eye, like more just like task type things that can be done, like what's happening in the, in the, like film TV industry. It's like the entry level type things where that extra creative eye isn't needed. But so that's where I think if you have the skills to use these tools, you'll be able to get an even better job. So it's like getting brushed up on these skills. I also think with the content creation thing, there's a lot of people like you who are using, like us, who are using it effectively, and we have the proper framework behind it. The thing to also be wary of is that you can also create a lot of content that's really crappy. So I have a website. It's thecontentclub.ai, and it creates automated blog posts every day. Like I haven't even checked it in a couple weeks, and it's just creating blog posts, and there's keywords that are in there. It's creating blog posts. It's finding photos, and it's making these blogs. And I show this when I speak, and everybody's always like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. And they like write it down because they want to learn how to do it. And I'm like, I share this to tell you, like, don't do this, because this can be, unless you actually have a team that can go in and make it unique and go in and fine tune it and make sure that it really is on point, you're just filling the internet with noise. And so there's a lot of people out there, I think, who are also just filling the internet with noise because they can, but not using that extra care that you're talking about, where they're like going in and refining it and really making sure that it's following a proper framework and that kind of stuff. So it's an interesting mix of like the tools that we've put into people's hands can be used so powerfully, but then they also can be used in a really sloppy way, which then makes it harder sometimes for your content to actually be seen because there's so much more content out now. So it really makes it important for us to double down on that unique thing that allows your stuff to stand out.
Yeah. And it also allows you to try and game the system and try to create a
Totally.
lot of content very
Yeah.
quickly. I mean, there's been so many ads popping up on my YouTube feed about people doing faceless YouTube automations, and it's like create content with AI and just
Oh my gosh,
flood.
totally. Yesterday I saw a bunch of those too, actually.
So now there's like so much content that's been watered down, that's been, AI version of an AI generated content, and it just keeps on
Yes.
going in this endless loop. Um, so I wasn't a big fan of social. Like I wasn't like spending a lot of time on social
Hmm.
before, but now, and again, just for context, I'm more of an ad guy. Like I run
Right.
lots of ads. But now it's even harder for me to engage in social media and to make sense of it because there's so much.
I
It's
know.
nonstop. It's getting watered down. There's very little quality content, if you will. There's very few
Yeah.
people who still put in the time into their ideas, into their
Hmm.
frameworks, into their frames, into their unique touch. Like you say, you're weird, right? Very
Yeah.
few people actually spend the time to come up with the weird or
Yeah.
to dig it up. So I'm looking at social media and what's coming, and I'm very pessimistic about it.
I mean, if you're not willing to take the time to do that other side of it, then yeah. But if you're willing to take the time to like, I mean, at this point, our weird has allowed us to have like real deep rooted connections at scale. So, like, even when I put all my content into Claude, it had we everything that I post on my personal profile on Facebook, we store in a spreadsheet that has the hook, the copy, the link to the post, the type of post that it is, how many likes it got, and how many comments it got, like at the end of the week. And it read all that information, and I was blown away by how it picked up on the fact that our community deeply cares about the same values. Our community deeply cares. Like, it brought up the fact that my mom had passed and said, like, the response that you got when your mom passed, shows that yada, yada, yada. It showed like the business tips that you offer, all these different things. And as long as it doesn't need to take your whole life, right? But as long as you put in that extra bit of care, like 20 minutes a day, toward working the algorithm in your favor and working the human relationships in the community favor, I think there's still a need for that connection. And where we obviously would like that in real life, people still need that connection. And the things that are fake and the things that are not, that are just like junk, are going to fall to the side.
I'm really concerned about the general amount of it, though, like the noise.
Yeah, yeah,
Almost
yeah,
like it's a
yeah.
landfill of crap, and now you
It
need to
is.
go in and
Yeah, that's like exactly my point with this blog post. It is. And what's going to happen with it? Like, I've even noticed on Facebook now, when you do a Facebook Live on your phone, when it's done, it says, what are your like deletion settings? And it's set to default delete in 30 days. You have to change that.
is it because Facebook wants you to keep uploading more stuff or what?
No, I think it's because they're running out of storage. Like, when you think about it, they're
Okay.
paying for all of this content that we've had up there since whatever, 2007, right? So I think they're like, they don't want the pile of junk out there either.
Interesting.
Because at some point, it's like, I mean, I love the fact that I have every day I can go look at my memories, right? It's like that's my 5-minute journal is Facebook. So I can go back and like look at everything that's happened for the past 10 years, or whatever, long at 14 years or however long I've been on Facebook, right? But then I wonder sometimes, like, when we say, oh, we're using this for, we're using it for free. We're not actually paying for that storage. We're paying with our time and with the ad spend that they get from us, right? But there's a lot of data that they are sourcing, and then also that they are storing for us. So
Interesting. As well as data about us,
yeah,
which
that's why I'm saying sourcing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's obviously other benefits to that, but it's still like, I've created a lot of content over the years, and it's all being housed somewhere with machines running to keep it going.